So guys, this is the weekly report for August 10th. So, let me talk a little bit about what I did this week. On Monday, I headed up to UV and we caught limits of kokanee by 11:30. So there's 4 of us, so we had 20 fish. They were anywhere from 38 to 55 feet of water. And I wasn't marking a whole lot of big schools, but I'd mark a group here and there, and we put our limit, and we lost a lot. We were missing a lot. It was kind of a weird day, but it just took me a little while before we got our 20 fish. The fish are 14 to 16 inches, maybe a little shorter than 16, but they're real fat. And some of the males, a couple of the males, the scales were gone and the noses were already starting to hook. So they're getting ready to make that transition. So I always figure when they make that transition, you want something on your end of your hook that's moving around more radical, because it triggers more strikes. And I think that's why we were missing a lot, because we're getting at using those baits to swing around, and I think they were actually striking more out of meanness rather than eating it. So we missed a lot. And then today I went down the delta, took a couple of friends of mine, and we went after stripers. We went out over by the Rio Vista area, and we only caught a couple keepers and some shorts, and we caught a lot of bass. And then I headed up north, and we had a really good day today. Lost a lot of fish, but we put limit of fish in the boat that was over 20 pounds. So we had a really good day today, and caught most of them on chatterbaits and in real shallow water, 1 to 3 feet of water. And I just tell you, they're just chasing crawdads. The other things going on in the area, hot right now, is we're finally going to get a window starting tomorrow, hopefully, where you could get out in the ocean and chase after them bluefins. I see these guys are starting to post, so Ricky Ocusta, I think Jay Lopes, I see Steve Mitchell, and James on the Caldon too. They're all going to start running trips out there for tuna. The only thing is, when you sign up, you have to call them, and they're going to put you on a reserve. So because it's usually going to be like a 1 to 3 day notice, because of the way the weather is, whether they could go out and go after these things. But the bite should be excellent. Nobody's been able to get out there for the last 2.5 weeks, so it should be good action out there. So hopefully, especially James on the Caldon, where he's going to do that overnighter and do some jigging. And I don't see why he's not going to catch them, because these fish in San Diego, that's all they do to catch these big ones is jig. And then he'll throw the Mad Maxes, in the daytime. The Mad Max, I'm going to be doing a video here pretty soon about how to go about trolling, but you're going to go about 14 knots. Those things, you're going to throw them, set them back about almost 100 yards behind the boat, and they still only go down about 3 to 5 feet. And there's a lot of little things that you're going to need to learn how to do, and I'll be doing a video real quick on that. Other things, the weather's been so bad and the tides are been fast, so the halibut fishing has been a little bit tough, but they're catching them. Guys are still waiting for that weather to cool and the ocean to calm down a little, so they could get out on that north bar, because there's a really good grade of fish out there right now where the halibut are like that 12 to 20 pound range. So getting out on that north bar, you're going to be in 30 to 40 feet drifting live anchovies. Probably be the best bet, just like you do inside. You can still catch a lot of halibut inside the bay. They're a little bit smaller grade, where you might have to measure them. They have to be 22 inches to keep. But they're plentiful. There's a lot of fish in there. And the leopard shark, all the guys are going after leopard sharks also. They're very plentiful. They make good table fare if you take care of them right. You got to clean them right away, bleed them, so they don't. If you don't clean them, you don't bleed them, they taste nasty. So you got to really take care of them, but they do make good table fare. They're also catching a lot of sturgeon in the Martinez area. On in, they're still catching quite a few. I know Steve Mitchell's been going after them. I don't know if Gate Crashers are still doing it. They might be out there chasing halibut. But you know, if you guys want to get on a boat, you need to call these guys and get out there because the fishing is really good. Stripers coming in a little bit. They're doing really well. I hear the West Bank has been putting out fish. The guys trolling. Mark Wilson's been catching quite a few. Guys that are tossing swim baits have also been catching them. So I went over in Rio Vista today, and you know, I had a very bad tide. We caught the end of the outgo, so I had maybe an hour running tide, and we caught a lot of fish, but no size. We caught a couple around maybe 4 pounds, and then some shorts, but we caught a lot of bass. So there's a lot of bass out there too to be caught. And stripers, I heard up in the Feather River at night, they're catching some decent fish up there. You could probably catch them on topwater, black worms. You could probably catch them trolling. I don't know if a lot of these fish are resident or they're just the big ones lagging around there, but they're catching some big fish. So you know, there's striper action. Also, out at Pacifica on the beach, they're catching a lot of them out there, and you could throw topwater rip baits and also iron. I think iron's the easiest way, and if you want to catch some big ones, try it at night. Other things going on, we'll get back to the bass fishing because the delta's been starting to pick up. A lot of guys been having a little trouble this year, but it's starting to turn on a little bit. I'm still finding them in current, and I'm still catching some pretty nice fish out there. Lakes, I'm sure all the lakes have been pretty decent also. I know Don's been up to Folsom and up to Berryessa, and he's been doing pretty good. He told me he was throwing topwater at Berryessa and then also drop shotting. So, you know, I'm sure you could go to Comanche, you could go to all the lakes around here and actually do pretty well on bass. Trout, Nate's still getting them at Comanche and Pardee, and he's doing really well at Comanche. I see this post where he's been putting limits in the boat probably before 10 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, the trout fishing's still pretty decent, and I'm sure you could probably get them at Collins and other lakes also. Other things, kokanee, New Melones, if you hit it right, you could get a nice limit. You know, those fish are pretty big. I think if you wanted to catch a fish in that 16 and up, 18, 19 inch, I think New Melones is probably your best bet to try. That lake is just so sporadic. One day you'll go and catch a limit like bam, 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 and then next time you go back, it's like, where'd they go? You know, you can't hardly get a bite. Other lakes, Stampede is still wide open. Boulder's Bar, wide open. UV, it's okay. I mean, there's guys that are struggling out there, but you have to just stick with it. And I was actually fishing real close to the canyon walls. I'm actually hitting the downrigger ball on the side of the walls, and it's been helping me catch fish. And other things going on, I think Whiskey Town is also good for kokanee. I hear it's taking only like a couple hours to get limits up there, and they're good grade of fish. They're starting to get some in that 16 to 18 inch range, so it's probably worth going. And you don't hear much about Shasta and kokanee, but I'm telling you, people need to start going up there. Once you start locating them there, it should be, you know, pretty easy to catch limits up there. But other than that, fishing all around been pretty decent, and I'm doing thing on Saturday mornings, you know, on California Sportsman's Radio on 1140 AM dial. I usually come on at 6:35 in the morning, and I'll talk about what's going on and what I've been doing. And then every first Saturday, I'm actually in the studio with those guys, with Kent and Seps. Other than that, you like the video, please hit the like. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. And then if you want to leave me a comment, leave me a comment and I'll get back within 2 or 3 days. So good luck fishing, and I'll see you guys next week.